Guys, so I'm actually outside right now. I'm gonna go inside and film, but just as a quick disclaimer for what I'm gonna talk about in this whole video, I'm not trying to expose a company. I'm not trying to degrade anybody. I am just trying to talk about the truth of our society, the truth of what our world has become. So with that in mind, I might not make a lot of sense in this video, and I may leave out a couple of important points that other YouTubers may have covered. So I will be linking their videos, Verina's video, Kiana's video down below, because they are the ones who inspired me to finally come out and speak about this. And I'm speaking about this from the perspective of someone who didn't directly experience things from YouTube or from this other company that we'll be talking about, but I knew it needed to be talked about ages and ages ago, so that's what we're gonna do. So without further ado, I'm gonna go inside and film. Hey guys, honestly, I am really scared to film this. I've been wanting to film this for a while, actually. I've been wanting to film this for several months, but I never spoke up about it, never talked about it, because I'm such a small YouTuber. Who's gonna even care if I film this or not? But if you're still watching, we're going to talk about one of the biggest things that is going on YouTube and Instagram right now, and that's the Fiji Dote trip. And first of all, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Dote is a brand that allows people to sell things, and it's a shopping app basically. I don't use it, so I don't know anything about the app, but I do know, as most of you know, they send YouTubers and influencers on trips from time to time. So there's, they had the Texas takeover last year, and then the biggest thing now is the Fiji Dote trip. So they took 30 YouTubers, and I noticed this actually that they were not very diverse. But now it has come up as a real issue, as some of the YouTubers are actually speaking out about what happened on the trip. And I actually kind of felt that that was what was going on when I was watching some of the vlogs from some of the YouTubers, because I do follow a lot of them, like Kiana Naomi and Lissetti specifically. I felt like something was wrong when I was watching their vlogs, and a lot of people, just didn't say anything, and they themselves tried not to say anything for the longest time. And I was like, I want to kind of do a video about that. I want to talk about that because I could sense what was going on. But, I was like, I'm a tiny YouTuber, only 400 can't even talk. 400 subscribers. Who's going to pay attention to this? So I didn't say anything. But now's the time to speak up. So, I've noticed the lack of diversity in general in our world. I mean, I live in America. I'm half black, half Japanese. I know what it's like to be a minority. So I could see that look in their eyes when they were on that trip, and I know what that's like. I experienced that myself. And for my friends who are watching this, no shame on you guys. You guys make me feel loved. You make me feel accepted. But this is my real life story along with these girls. It just happens. It's not like anybody's trying supposedly to make us feel like an outcast because of our race or whatever. It just happens. And that's the reality. And that's the danger that a lot of people fall into, is just saying it doesn't exist. But here's the thing, guys. It exists, whether we like it or not. So Kiana Naomi decided to speak up on this a few days ago, and I was like, you go, girl, because someone needed to say something. And so if you don't know what happened, so basically Dote badly treated their minorities on that trip. I know a lot of people are probably going to come back with, well, Tila Dunn got a lot of attention. Okay, yes, it has to do with followers. Yes, she was trying to fit in. That's not what this video is about. This video is about how they really, in general, just treated all the minorities on that trip and on other trips as well. For example, if you go back to the Texas takeover, what happened was, I hate to say this, but it is the truth, and the truth is kind of what needs to be heard right now. So all the popular, I hate to say, white YouTubers were all put in the big house together. And then all the rest of them basically got swept into another house. Yeah. There's Lisa Fan and a bunch of other YouTubers. They were the minority girls, smaller subscriber count. They all got swept to another house. And yeah, a lot of people were like, oh, it's subscriber count stuff. if you take a close look, it's not just their subscriber count. And I really hate to speak against Dote, but like, it was just too obvious. And then with this Fiji trip, you know, there was the big, beautiful villas that the, you know, popular influencers were put into. And then everybody else, even though they had, you know, a good number of, you know, influence, you know, following, whatever, they were still shoved over into, I was shocked, these places that really were not rooms. They were not anything even close to what the other people had. And they had to share like one bathroom. Like, Dote was making it like super obvious. Like, they were like, we brought diversity on the trip. No, they didn't. They grabbed some black friends, some minority friends, so they could say they were diverse. And not anything against the company, but I hope they mend their ways. Because they could make it work if they would do things the right way. So, now that I got that off my chest, Kiana Naomi spoke of like how she felt excluded, in which I could tell from some of the footage she got in her vlogs that definitely, absolutely, sure, she definitely was excluded. Her and Lissetti and some of the other girls, they were by themselves, like, all the time. Like, all the rest of the YouTubers were going and doing stuff together, and I hate to say this once again, because I don't want to sound racist, and I don't want to be that angry minority who's like, oh, being emotional or whatever, but the white YouTubers were all getting to do the fun stuff photographed, they were getting all this stuff done, they were getting lots of pictures taken, lots of fun stuff. But if you look at the footage from Kiana Naomi and Lissetti, they cannot make this stuff up. They caught this on film. They're by themselves a lot. Nobody's talking to them, nobody's paying attention to them. They weren't getting photographed enough. Like, it was, I mean, yeah. So that's how that went. And I was kind of disappointed, honestly, because I was like, oh yay, Dote, like, included a whole bunch of people. And then I was like, where are the, you know, where are the minorities? And lucky they had a few, so I'm proud of them for trying. It's a start, but they need to do things differently. Also, I hate to say this, but the way they responded on their Instagram, I could not stand that, honestly. It was not the way that they had to deal with it. This was so, I don't know, I feel like this really shows like how our society actually is. They posted like 9 pictures, I believe, on their Instagram with all these diverse girls, and they said, this is what Dote looks like for every single one of those photos. We all know that's not what Dote looks like. We know that's not what it has looked like for the last couple of years even. We're not stupid. I love that they're trying to incorporate more diverse girls, but to suddenly, just out of the blue, after this big blow up about their diversity stuff, to suddenly just put all those photos there and be like, this is us, and this is us. That is not fixing the issue. Fixing the issue would be to go back and apologize to those girls and actually, like, change the way that these trips are formed, change the way that they make these groups to go on these trips. Because it's not just like, oh yeah, it's not about, like, their subscriber count. It was more obvious than that. And if they could change that, I feel like I would actually want to join that. Because, you know, if they're not for everybody, they're not for everybody. And that's honestly really sad. And I'm glad to see that some of these, you know, more popular white YouTubers have kind of like, they're like, I'm ending my contracts with them because I feel this is wrong. And I'm proud of them for doing that. Someone has to do that. Someone with that number of influence and that, you know, social influence needs to do something about it. Otherwise, who is going to? Because we can't do it alone. And I'm not saying this to, you know, cut minorities from the majorities or whatever, but we can't do it by ourselves. The majority and those who have the influence and the power to change things need to step in and do something. So I'm glad I got that off my chest because I've been wanting to talk about that for several months now, actually. Like, ever since the Fiji vlogs all started coming out, I wanted to say something. And the Instagram pictures came out. And then I was like, I really need to say something. And after I saw Dote's post, like those 9 posts that they did, I was like, you know what, that's it. I'm talking about this. And I hope, you know, I don't care if I offended anybody. It's just the harsh reality of our society, of specifically our American society, it still isn't there yet. We are in a better day than, say, the 1960s, but we still have a long way to go. We need to change our society still, and if we continue to act like nothing is wrong and just slap in a few band-aids here and there, so to speak, we are not going to be able to change anything. So, okay, that was a lot. That was a mouthful, and I hope... Okay, for a lot of you, this is probably your first time ever seeing me on camera. I am so sorry this is the way you get to know me. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. You need to know where I stand, and if you think you want to see some of my regular videos, you can hit the subscribe button. There will be a normal video on Friday night at 7 p.m. like normal, but really guys, we need to speak up about this. Don't be afraid to shine your light. Someone has to do it, and it just might be you. So, I'll see you guys in a normal video soon. Don't forget to get out and change your world today. Love ya.